He's the creator of an unlikely movie franchise that over the decades has gained a cult-like fan following. And the irony is not lost on Kevin Smith, the mind behind geek culture icon Clerks. The filmmaker, actor, comedian, and comic book writer is back with one more installment in Clerks III after a near-death experience. He's bringing a real-life lesson to the characters who've been making us laugh since the 90s. Our Stephanie Ramos spoke with Smith about his latest film and what life is like in the wake of a traumatic health scare.
Somebody get over it! Back over! Yeah, I'm gonna make a movie! Well, what am I, a hack?
So you're a filmmaker, you are a comedian, comic book writer, actor. List goes on and on.
It's a lot of honorifics, isn't it?
You've done a lot.
Basically, I've spent the last 30 years trying to expand my Wikipedia page to the point that you can't scroll. It just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls.
Yeah, and congratulations on Clerks III.
Thank you. Oh, my Lord. I can't believe we got to the third one.
And what made you revisit Clerks?
You know, mortgage? No. I love these characters. And I was trying to get to Clerks III from the moment we wrapped Clerks II. It took a while to manifest it. The heart attack that I had a few years ago actually helped, not only saved my life, so to speak, but it gave me something to talk about in Clerks. First Clerks is predicated on working. It was made by a kid who was behind the counter shooting a movie. I don't work in retail. Now I own retail establishments. So I got to find different authenticity to pump it up with.
Let's talk briefly about that. I mean, it's a huge moment in your life. And you tweeted about it soon after, or like that same day when it happened. What was that like for you? Did it bring some sort of like a new lease on life, an awakening?
The doctor told me, he's like, you have an 80% chance of dying tonight. It was oddly comforting what I reached. When you're creative, death is like just a repugnant notion because you're like, what? All this will stop existing? I have so much to say. What will the world do without me? I got to a place on the table where I was like, you know, you got what everyone gets. You got a life, and it was great. And you're not meant to be here forever. It felt like I was graduating. And then the doctor saved me, damn it. And so I've had to figure out what to do ever since then. But it also leaves you with the impression, the very correct impression, that you're living on borrowed time.
Is that what the character in the movie walks away with too? Is that the same realization?
Absolutely. Randall has the heart attack in the movie, or for lack of a better description, the video store guy, as most people know him from the first movie. So I wanted to give Randall the kind of awakening that, like, after my heart attack, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to make a movie. And in the flick, you get to see Randall face his own mortality and realize he's never had a life like Dante. He didn't make choices that, he never fell in love, he never even left New Jersey and stuff. But this notion of like making a movie before he dies, after watching movies forever, suddenly flips his wig and he's a man on a mission. That part I didn't take from my post-heart attack. That part I took from young Kevin Smith. So Randall's heart attack empowers him. My heart attack empowered me to, like, you know, go vegan, drop a bunch of weight, change my lifestyle, but not be more creative.
Such a true statement. After almost 30 years since Clerks, the first movie, was it sentimental at all to kind of revisit that world?
It was beyond sentimental. You got to imagine, for you, it's a revisitation to the world. I never left that world. I live in that world.
Did you feel differently as a filmmaker this time around compared to almost 30 years ago?
Well, this time around, yes. As a first-time filmmaker with Clerks, you're guessing everything. So I went back this time as a guy who's, you know, his storytelling is so economic. That kid didn't exist in the beginning. That's the guy who's been doing it for 3 decades. Over time, I've learned that there are many different ways, easier, cheaper, make more sense, to communicate with the audience. And that's all this is about, is communicating. But I keep doing film for the kid who started the journey, because, you know, if I went back in time and said, oh, we don't make movies anymore because we could do so many other things, he'd be so heartbroken.
So in Clerks III, will we see flashbacks? Will we see kind of elements from the first movie, some old footage perhaps?
Absolutely. There was a way that we've kind of woven in footage from Clerks and Clerks and Clerks II in a really poignant way. When it happens, it rips your heart out. Everyone going to see a Clerks movie hopefully is expecting to laugh because that's what we've done for years. But the older I get, the more I'm interested in making them feel, like walk away from the movie with something more than just a few giggles, something that, you know, lifts this just a little bit, maybe inspires them to do something different or something that they've always wanted to do, but, you know, talk themselves out of.
So you want people to walk away with those feels when they watch this movie. Is that why you incorporated parts of your life, like real life experiences, into the movie?
I incorporated parts of my life into the movies, into all the movies, not because I'm a good artist, but because I'm a bad artist. I'm not very creative. So what I do is I just take my life, change names, and go like that. So no writer is original. I don't care who you are. At the end of the day, you see something, you put it through a filter, you write it down. Or not write it down. Clerks III was no different from Clerks that way.
So with that said, will there be another Clerks? Should we look forward to a Clerks IV?
As long as there's breath in my lungs, I'm sure there's some threat of a Clerks something happening out there. It's been delightful to watch people just like break down and sob and cry and see themselves in the movie. And again, this is all coming from a kid who's like, I just want to make a movie with dirty words that makes people laugh. So I feel like I've grown as an artist.
It's an evolved Kevin Smith. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Last question I have to ask.
Fire away.
Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Why is he silent? What was the deal behind that?
Silent Bob was born. Not a role that I was intending to play, because as you can see, I love the sound of my own voice. And being Silent Bob is truly a performance, one that I should probably get an Oscar for. I chose the one part that had no dialogue to memorize.
Finally, we've got the answer.
Yeah, big mystery.
From Kevin Smith himself. That's why I signed up for this job, to get the insight. Thank you.
That's journalism right there. You raked the muck, as they used to say.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.